What defines us? It's a question of recently that I've been wondering quite a bit. For instance, is it the dreams that we chase? Is it the challenges that we face? Is it even the strengths that we take to overcome the challenges that we face? Is it our laughter? Is it the choices we make? Or is it just the passion behind the things that we do? Essentially, I kind of look at this question as life being an adventure, in the sense that every experience that we experience shapes our future and our actions and the way that we respond with answering that question, what defines us? Looking back, there's always been that one childhood moment, or it could be a few childhood moments that define and alter the way we live our lives, but also the way that we view and live our lives, the world around us. And I would just like for that to sink in for a minute, so that you could think about your childhood moment or moments that have altered your life, and the way that you view your life. For instance, for me, a memory that has I would say that it really is a cool memory. But there's several times that this has happened, but this is a cool memory. All the one memories have gone into one, but all the many memories have gone into one is what I should say. Essentially, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in a small little island. Bermuda is my island, my home. Anyways, that's the song that they would sing. But I was born in a small little island called the Bermuda. And essentially, I would finish my work from school, right? No, sorry. First, I would finish school, yeah? Then they would have set us homework, obviously. You would go to the homework club and you would finish homework. And then if your parents couldn't pick you up when they needed, when school's finished, you'd go to our school club. Our school club would come. My dad, I would always be one of the last, but my dad would come and pick me up, and then we'll head to the beach. The beach. We did that almost every single day, apart from when it rained or if it was hurricane season. But yeah, honestly, it was my favourite memory, only because seeing other people at the beach, smelling the salt of the sea. I can only explain it to you if you've been to a beach abroad, especially in the Caribbean or around that area. You'll know what I'm talking about. But the smell of the sea salt, the sand in your feet, the sand on your hands, everything, honestly, it just made me feel at peace, and the wind blowing just made me feel at peace. So, linking it back to what defines us, I think the reason why that is such a core memory that I hold near and dear to my heart, is because I've realised that in my friendships, and in my circles that I have, I feel most at peace or happy and filled with joy when the connectivity of the group has happened in the simplicity of the moment. So it could be everyone is legit chilling in my house, and we're all just talking about the months that we've had and how crazy they've been. But for everybody to go around the room and say, yeah, I've had a crazy month, but I've persevered because of the music that I listen to every day, or God being there by my side, or me seeing what I want to be in the future. It could be anything that pushes you to continue, but that's essentially what I realised shaped my view of the world, and what I look for, and how I respond and how I react, and essentially how that defines me. At the heart of what we do, there's also a core value that essentially defines what we do and how we act as well in life. I would love to say that it's not true, but it is true. And I would love to say that there's other things that really define how we act, but I would say that it goes back to your core values and your memory as a childhood, or memories as a childhood that you remember, that actually cause you to be the way that you are in now in your adult life, or your growing up life, whenever you're watching this, your grown up life. Yeah, so I would say a core value that I would define myself as is boldness. Looking back, I was really trying to find a word, and it got to a point where I was saying what other people would say about me, and I was like, well, no, I don't actually think that about me. So like, for instance, my dad always thinks like I'm this go-getter, like I'm just a driven person, and I was like, yeah, I'm driven. I was like, no, that's what my dad would say about me. That's not what I would say about me. Or like other people would be like, oh, you're so bubbly, you're so joyous. Like all my uni friends would say that to me. And she'd be like, well, yeah, I am bubbly and I am joyous, but I wouldn't define myself as that, if you get what I mean. And the word that I came up with is boldness. Boldness, 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 boldness. If you know me personally, I would say that sums up everything of what people are saying, why I'm so driven, and why I'm so bubbly, and why I'm such like a people person. I just think it's because I'm bold. But looking back, I would say that it was definitely all the trials, challenges, issues that I went through that brought me through, definitely. 100%, 110% in fact. Please, don't get me wrong, there were days where I legit did not want to leave my bed, and I didn't want to get a shower, and I didn't want to eat any healthy food, and I didn't want to consume anything other than fizzy drink and nonsense that doesn't help. Don't get me wrong, plenty of days like that, but the thing that got me out of it was my boldness to, okay, let's take a step now. The way that you're living recently has not been good. Let's progress. So yeah, I would say that that's for me. If you guys would love to do some introspection, and look inward and try and find your word that describes you, I genuinely think it would help you so much. It really has just opened my eyes to make me see like, oh my gosh, it really has been boldness. And honestly, I really, really, really thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for it. And also, just a word of encouragement. I would say that in this book that I'm reading, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can see it. Sorry, I looked down from my viewfinder, but you can see it. It's this one here, this white one. My line is not really straight. Don't mind that. But yes, it's white one there. And essentially, it's called The Science of Happiness, and it's really, 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 really an interesting book. It's an interesting read. Read it. I recommend that book. So essentially it's talking about comparison, and the author of the book essentially says that when we compare, we often draw the wrong conclusions of other people, of ourselves, of situations that might have occurred. And he says it's based off of your ego, and it's a bit of a touching subject, but I wholeheartedly believe that with my heart, because you would not want to compare if your ego isn't as high through the roof. And we would not want to compare if we didn't feel as good as we do about ourselves in general. And I think that's what I would like to leave my word of encouragement from you guys. Please don't compare. Comparison is something that kills joy. The thief, not the word, the thief that kills joy. If you are curious of wanting to dive deeper into this little journey of answering this question of what defines us, and a bit of introspection, to be honest, of what defines us, and this thought-provoking question and conversation, please tune in next week Sunday at the same time, 7 o'clock. And yeah, you'll get the other 3 points on answering this question. But I hope this video did give you some sort of help in some way, shape or form, because these things have really helped me in my life so far. So I just thought to share. And yeah, that is it for this video. So, as a wise man once said, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. See you in the next one.